Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jennifer from Branch to Bloom, and today I'm going to tell you about how we taught our kids about adjectives, and I hope it's helpful for you. If this is your first time visiting my channel, please go ahead and click subscribe and the notification bell so that you can follow along with all of my upcoming content. And you may also want to click like on this video. Grammar lessons don't have to be boring, full of worksheets and children who don't want to work. It can be really fun, and I'm going to show you the way that we used the Montessori key experience for adjectives to teach our kids about adjectives. So you'll need to gather your materials first. I have 3 flowers, a pair of scissors, some cards, and a felt pen in black and dark blue, which is our color for adjectives. And the first thing you'll do is call your child to come over and sit next to you at the workspace. Some people like to do it across from their child, like in elementary. I still prefer to have my children sitting right next to me when I teach the lessons. I like that closeness, but whatever works for you is great. Just make sure that your workspace is uncluttered. It can be at a table like I am, or it can be on a mat on the floor, whatever works best for you. So I have 3 objects. I have flowers. You don't have to use flowers, but it needs to be three of the same thing that has one distinguishing characteristic. Like I have 3 different colors of flower. And you'll say to your child, will you please hand me the flower? And you'll just write the flower on a card. I've already written these. And they may wonder which flower you want because you're using the definite article like they learned about before in the last lesson. And if they ask, well, which flower do you want? Just kind of shrug, like, doesn't matter. And they'll hand you one. So let's say they hand you the orange flower first. And you'll put it above this label and say, yeah, thank you, I really like it, but that's not actually the one I wanted. And then say again, will you hand me the flower? And then just write again the words the flower on a card for them. And let's say this time they choose the kind of purple flower and set that above your card and say, thank you, it's also very beautiful, but that's also not the one I wanted. And they may be a little bit frustrated with you at this point because you haven't been very descriptive with them. And you can say, you know, it's not your fault that you didn't know which one I wanted because I didn't give you very much information, did I? And this time you'll write the words again, the flower. And this part is fun because it's kind of dramatic. You're going to cut right in between the words. This always grabs their attention. And say, what if I put in another word right here? And I said, please hand me the white flower. Then would you know which one I wanted? And they will. They can set the white flower right above the label. Then you can tell your child this word is an adjective, and adjectives describe nouns. So when I told you to hand me the white flower, you knew which flower I wanted for sure because I was telling you the description for it. And after you've explained the definition for adjective, you can give them the etymology, which is that adjectives come from the Latin adjectivus, which means to add. And if they have a work journal, they may want to write that down to remember for later. Now, the fun doesn't have to be over. You can continue this lesson with some fun games. You can ask them to find objects from around your house. Like, for example, you might say, could you get me a book? And when they bring you the book, say, not that book, I wanted a thick book, or I wanted a red book, or can you bring me an apple? Ooh, not that apple, I wanted a green apple or a red apple. And then when they go and get the next object that you've described, ask them how they knew to give you the right object. These are just some fun and playful ways to make grammar memorable and help it to stick in their minds. If you have any questions about how you might use this lesson in your house, leave me a comment below and I will be sure to get back to you. I always check my comments and I love to help out. Now that you've introduced adjectives to your children, you can introduce the adjective set 3, which is the grammar boxes for elementary students. And if you have the traditional material, it will be a series of wooden boxes. I'm going to show you the fabric version that I make, and I have this linked in the description box below if you think it will work for your family the way it works for mine. So I have this mat instead of a wooden box for the sorting box, and then the traditional material has a series of filling boxes, so a wooden box for each of these different pockets that I have inside this one fabric envelope. So it really saves us a lot of space in our home, which if you're like me, my shelf space is a premium, so I need as much space as I can get. But I didn't want to sacrifice having beautiful materials and just put them in paper envelopes, so that's why I created this version. So what you'll do is get your grammar set, whatever type you have. You would need boxes A through E for this lesson, and if you have the boxes, and then you'll want the wooden symbols. Now, if you don't have these wooden grammar symbols and you don't have these fabric mats or boxes, I have linked a printable version in the description box. It's part of the PDF that I made for this lesson. So you can also do it that way if buying these materials just isn't in your budget right now. You'll want the grammar symbols for nouns, adjectives, and articles. So it's the light blue, the dark blue, and the black, large black triangle. Ask your child to come and sit next to you at your, again, uncluttered space. It can be a table or a floor, whatever works best for your family. And take out the cards or ask your child to take out the cards for exercises in A. So either filler box 3A or pocket A. And then have them sort them on the mat. So they would put the phrases in the large rectangle at the top, and then the nouns, which are black, on the noun square, and the articles, which are tan, on the article square, and the adjectives, which are brown, mine are not all facing the same direction here, on the article square. There we go. Or sorry, the adjective square, I mean. For this introduction, for this lesson, you're only going to use exercises A through E. So filling boxes A through E or pockets A through E. And then we'll do F and G later on. So just so you know that ahead of time. You can do as many or as few as your child finds interesting. What you'll do is have the child choose one of the phrase cards here and set it on your workspace, and then have them rebuild the phrase. So here we have the blue paper, the brown paper. So they would write with the cards, I have paper here conveniently at the top, and then find blue, here we go, the blue paper. And then you can show them how you can change the sentence by replacing the adjective. So we have the blue paper, the brown paper. The brown paper or the blue paper. And then go ahead and let them symbolize it. We have the blue paper or the brown paper. And you can set it above these cards or above the phrase card. And then just go ahead and go through the rest of the exercises. Watch your child for early signs of fatigue or boredom. You don't want to do this lesson for so long that they don't find it interesting anymore. So make sure that you are watching them for signs that they're bored or it's not exciting. If it is seeming like it's not real thrilling to them at that moment, just put it away and introduce it another time. You can also introduce some fun creative ways to do it. Have a little figure, build the words like their toy, doll, or a car, drive the words over, whatever you need to do to make it more interesting for them and more memorable. If you have any questions about how to introduce Grammar Box 3 in your home, go ahead and leave me a comment below, or if you just want to tell me about how you do it differently at your house, I would love to hear that too. Now that your child has a little more experience with adjectives, you can play some fun games. And to play these games, the first game, you'll need your grammar cards. Again, you can find the link for this below. I have a whole set of all of the grammar mats and envelopes and all the card material you need for sale in my Etsy shop, and that link is down below for you. So for this lesson, we've already done on the grammar mat A through E, and we're going to work now with pocket F, or if you have the traditional boxes, this would be filler boxes F and G. So in my version, I have both of the, there's two sets in pocket F, and I have both of them in this same pocket, but in the traditional one, you'll find them in F and G. So we're only going to work with one set at a time, but what you'll do is invite your child to come and sit next to you at your workspace, and then have them place the adjective and noun labels at the top of the workspace. And then they'll take the cards. There's adjective and noun cards for each set. Oh, here's a quick pro tip for you. You'll notice on the back of my cards, I've written the pocket number that they're in. So if you have grammar cards, if you're doing them yourself, print them out, or if you order them from me, when you cut them up, put the number in the box number on the back, because sometimes children dump everything all over the floor, and this makes it a lot easier to figure out where everything goes. So just a little tip for you. Don't ask me how I know. We put all of the adjectives in a pile here, and then have your children take the noun cards and just make a nice long column with some of them going down under the noun. Nice. Let's see, I need a little more space here. And they don't have to do all of the whole set at once, but we'll do just those for now. And then they'll choose one adjective from the set of adjectives, and they're just going to slide it down this way. So they might say sweet stare, sweet dog, sweet flowers, until they find the noun that they want to leave their adjective with. And it can be really funny. So let's say they say sweet dog, and they're going to leave their adjective here. And then they'll take the next one. Soft stare, soft flowers, soft bread. Ooh, yeah. Beautiful stare, beautiful flowers. Okay, I'll leave mine here. Fresh stare. That's something that might make them giggle. Fresh dog. Let's see. Fresh bread, fresh soft bread. Oh. Fresh board, fresh music, fresh chocolate. How about that? Brown stare. Well, since I love Montessori, I'm going to leave brown with stare because that's one of the sensorial materials for the younger kids. So we have a brown stare. Barking stare, barking sweet dog, barking beautiful flowers, barking soft bread, barking board. How about barking music? So you can see that this is a really fun game for them to do. When they get all of the first set done, if they want to do the second set, they can. And if not, just save it for another day. And after they have finished this game, which is called the logical adjective game, you can introduce another game, and that's called the detective triangle game. Now, I don't make that material, but I have a printed version that I use at my house, and it's from Samco Montessori, and I have that here linked in the description box for you below as well. There are some non-printed versions that are wooden and more expensive, but the printed version worked great for our family, and I think that you'll really enjoy the command cards and stuff that she has included in that set as well. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I hope that you found this content helpful. If you have any questions or want to tell me about how you do it differently at your house or in your classroom, leave me a comment below. I would love to read about it. And if you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my upcoming content.